Hey guys, welcome back to MWG Garage. Today I will be doing an oil filter change on this 2011 Volvo XC 90 all-wheel drive 3.2 liter. Stay tuned. So what we need to do this oil change is gotta get your oil filter and your 5W30 oil. We got the high mileage oil because this vehicle has high mileage, and it will take around 7 quarts, so that's why we have two 5-quart bottles, and we just got the extra deal at the store we were at and got 2 filters. And next thing, to get the oil cap off, you'll need this 36mm socket, some extensions to go onto it, maybe this, possibly, I don't know yet, and a 13mm wrench. I grabbed in a variety just to make sure, and you'll need a ratchet for the socket. So now I'm going to get it up onto ramps and drain the oil out of it. So when you crawl underneath the car, this is the front of the car right here, get to the oil pan, and the drain plug will be right at the end of the oil pan, like there. Our drain plug, for some reason, is a 17mm. Videos I've watched have said it was a 13mm, but this one is a 16, so you might need to grab an array of wrenches. Also, when you do this, remove the oil fill cap, so I guess it helps drain the oil. So we can come back when we get all the oil out. So once your oil is done draining, you will take your wrench that you were using, you'll start to tighten it up, and once it's really tight, I'm going to give it a couple love taps to make sure it's on there all the way. Then next step, it will be the oil filter. Now that we're up to the top of the motor, we have our 36mm socket on top of the oil filter cap. I have our wrench connected up to it. It's gonna be on there pretty tight. See if I can get it off with this. And I left the oil pan under there because there will be some oil in this filter, and this filter is going to be on. This filter is on there quite tight because of the filter actually inside of it. So now it's actually starting to come nicely. I believe it's off. Try and grab it out of there like that. Nice used oil filter. So when you get your oil filter piece off, there will be an O-ring like this in my hand that sits inside here. You need to make sure that comes off because your new oil filter should come with one. And we pre-lube this one so it can rest down in here. Try and slide down in there nicely. Be careful you don't want to break this O-ring. So this is vital to it's kind of a challenge to get on, as you can see me fumbling with it. Sometimes need a third hand. And this is why we like American cars that don't have to deal with this stuff, but it goes on like that. Now, take your new filter. Just push it down like that. New filter. It will go inside here like you took it off, but instead of taking it off, you're putting it back on. And it's gonna go on tighter because of the new filter, and you gotta make sure it gets in there properly and you don't cross thread it. Come back when So now that we have the oil filter back on, we're going to put in 5 quarts of oil, then we're going to back it off the ramps. So I'm going to put in this 5 quarts of oil and come back and we'll check and see if it needs any more oil. Alright, so now we're going to back it down off the ramps and check the oil level. And we're going to check the oil filter. I checked the oil level and it's still barely even reading on the dipstick, so I'm going to add about 2 quarts into it and see what that does. I'll come back when that's done. So I added another extra 2 quarts into it, so now I'm going to show you how to change the oil percent on this Volvo. So how I'm going to take off the time for regular maintenance light in that one triangle light is going to take my key out, put it in the ignition, turn it to the 1 position. I'm going to hold down the reset button that sits right here. Then you're going to turn the ignition to the 2nd position. Then you will continue to hold the light down, and then the light will flash 2 or 4 times. Then you'll release the button. Then the light should go away, and you can start it up and go away without that time for change light. And with that, this oil change is done. So thank you for watching the video on how to change the oil on a 2011 Volvo XC90. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.